In this video, we'll be discussing 5 sources of passive income that anyone can try. I'll be talking about the amount of effort required to set them up, how difficult they are to maintain, and the potential reward that comes with them. You can start using these ideas to generate yourself passive income and make more money right after watching this video. Some of these can generate up to $20,000 a month, but of course with everything, a lot of upfront effort is required. The term passive income has become very popular, but it can be a bit misleading as well. People may think that they just need to set up a website or upload a few YouTube videos and they can retire early, but in reality setting up a profitable source of passive income is very challenging. It's essentially a form of income where the amount of money that you get is not directly tied to your time, and you don't get paid while you're in the process of developing a product or service. If you're writing a book, you don't get paid for the amount of time you spend actually writing it, but once it's finished and you can publish it, you can start collecting royalties when the book sells, and then you can make money 24/7 because you've put in that upfront effort for the body of work, and then it can generate you money once it's been made. However, with active income, the amount of money that you get is tied directly to your time. The more hours you work, the more you get paid, and the more specialized and the more skills that you have, the more your time is worth, and then you'll get paid more. But there's a cap on how much money you can make with this. There's only so many hours that you can work, but with passive income, the reward is almost limitless, and the amount that you can scale your income from it is astronomical. The first source of passive income is investing in the stock market. Essentially, when you invest in a company, you're providing your money to that company and they can use it to grow their business. The most straightforward way to get passive income through investing is by investing in dividend yielding stocks. And a dividend is essentially a payback to a company's shareholders, recognizing them as part owners in that business. So when the company is doing well, it will share its profits with its investors in the form of a dividend. A dividend is normally expressed as a percentage, and they normally vary between 1 and 6%. Now, you do need to be careful when it comes to dividend investing, because a business might offer a high dividend, but in reality it shouldn't, because a business may not actually be able to afford that dividend, but it just keeps paying it out and increasing it to maintain that shareholder confidence. But in reality, the stock price is dropping and that business may be under a lot of financial strife. So one of the best investments that anyone can make is putting your money into something called the S&P 500. Just to give you a bit of context, this is the top 500 companies in America. You're essentially investing in the whole market. Think businesses like Facebook, Google, Amazon, Coca-Cola, well-branded, well-recognized companies that have stood the test of time and they're not going anywhere. They provide a very consistent and reliable investment that on average will give you roughly 10% per year. Now, there are some years where it can do almost nothing, say just go up or down by 2%, and there's other years where it can do really, really well. This year, for example, it's already gone up 32%, but just as an average over the long term, say 80 years plus, 10% is the return that you can expect to get. For example, if you had an initial investment of $1,000 and you put in $200 a month, which is just $50 per week, and you did this for 5 years, then you would have put $13,000 of your own money in, and your portfolio would be worth $16,262. So you would have made just over $3,200. Now, this might not seem like a lot, but if you look at this over the course of 30 years instead of 5 years, then your return will be far, far greater. What would happen if you doubled the amount of money that you're putting in? Instead of $200, let's go for $400 over the course of 30 years, again with that $1,000 initial investment. You would have put in $145,000 of your own money, and your portfolio would be worth $807,000. You would have made $662,000 just from putting in $100 a week for 30 years. I know it's a long time, but that return is insane, and you don't need to know anything about the stock market. You don't need to do any research or have any prior knowledge. You can just put in that money with a set and forget strategy and watch that portfolio grow. And I think it's a great thing for people to get started, and it really shows them how easy it is to make money on the stock market. You don't need to have 3 computer monitors and a business degree to start making money. Anyone can do it, anyone can get started. It's just about taking that first step. So if you're on the fence about investing, I'd strongly encourage you to get into it. Watch a few YouTube videos and just get a feel and get started on it. It's really going to be worth your time, and it could set you up very well for your future. Online brokerage platforms have made it extremely accessible for anyone to get started with investing. If you're in New Zealand or Australia, you can use Stake. If you're in America, there's Robinhood or Webull, and then in the UK, there's Free Trade or Vanguard. You can use any of these platforms. A lot of them have zero brokerage fees, and there's lots of tutorials online showing you exactly how to use them. Number 2 is starting a YouTube channel. Again, anyone can get into this. All you need is your phone and you can start recording and uploading videos. Making a YouTube account is completely free and not restricted to anyone, but actually getting paid for your efforts is a different story. In order to get monetized on YouTube, you need a total of 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. This is a goal I'm currently working towards, so if you found this video helpful so far, make sure to subscribe and help support the channel. So how many videos do you have to make in order to reach that goal of getting monetized? And if you look at the statistics, it takes anywhere from 50 to 150 videos to get that first 1,000 subscribers. Of course, this can vary between channels and the type of content that people are uploading, but this is a ballpark figure. And once you are monetized, you can expect to get anywhere from $2 to $3 per 1,000 views. And the money that you get is from advertisers playing ads before your video starts. And different niches in the YouTube world will get paid more depending on the kind of videos that they upload. For example, personal finance and business is amongst the highest paid per 1,000 views genre on YouTube. And the amount of money an advertiser is willing to pay to get their ads played at the beginning of a video is measured in CPM. And different genres have different CPMs. So with finance, it's because the demographic watching these videos is into money and investing and the stock market, all these sort of things, playing an ad to them is far more likely to result in a sale, because the kind of things that are advertised are largely digital. They're not a physical product. It'll be an online course on, say, how to invest in the stock market, and it takes very little money to create this product because, as I said, it's just digital. They're just providing their knowledge to the viewer. So if it costs $500 to purchase this course, then that's an excellent return for the person who's made it, so they can afford to spend a lot of money on advertisements pushing these sort of courses on viewers. And with finance, they're normally people who are a bit older that actually have their own money to spend on these sort of courses, versus a vlogging or entertainment channel where a lot of the viewers might just be anywhere from 5 to 12 years old. They don't have their own bank account. They're not about to start purchasing product. So the monetary value of their views is theoretically worth less to an advertiser than that of a person watching a finance or business related channel. But with YouTube, you're not just limited to receiving AdSense from people watching your videos. You can sell merchandise, have sponsorship deals, offer a digital course, all different things that you can use the fan base that you've generated on YouTube and direct them to these other things which you can use to start securing yourself passive income. So YouTube is definitely a great option when it comes to passive income, but actually finding a formula that works and gaining that title of monetization can be the most challenging task. The first 1,000 subscribers can come the hardest because you're trying to figure things out, see what works, see what doesn't. And then once you have that first 1,000, you can see what you should be doing, what do your subscribers react to, what's beneficial, what gets you the most views, and start figuring out a formula that works. And once you start to figure out what is actually beneficial and what is going to build you that subscriber base, you can more fine-tune your videos to content that people will respond to. Number 3 is dropshipping. Now this business model is very appealing because it essentially revolves around a consumer making a purchase, the seller taking a cut of that money, and then using the rest of that money to purchase the product from a supplier, normally a group like Alibaba or AliExpress, where the product can be purchased very cheaply and then it's sent directly to the consumer. So the seller never has to hold any inventory or have any physical warehousing space to actually store the products that they're selling. This makes it very appealing, but there's also a lot of stigma around dropshipping. Obviously, when it comes to anything where you can make a lot of money, there will be scams, people promising that they are an expert or a guru on dropshipping and that all you need to do is just spend a few hours setting up a shop and then you're good to go and your passive income will start rolling in. But just like everything else on this list, it does take a lot of upfront effort and a steep learning curve to actually have a good understanding of all the elements that come into setting up a successful dropshipping business. The amount of return that you get is really based upon how profitable your shop is. Some people make a modest return of a few $100s a month, up to tens of thousands of dollars a month to $1 million plus business. Brands like Gymshark, Heinz, and Jenny Craig all have massive drop shipping companies, and you can see drop shipping stores popping up more and more often. You can find them on Instagram, Facebook, even TikTok, as more people are seeing the benefit and the potential reward that can come with dropshipping. Now, of course, there's a lot that you have to learn about the actual system of setting up a shop like this, from learning how to research products, actually set up an online store, and advertise the products that you're selling. And by far the platform which is the most popular is Shopify. You can use Amazon, but dropshipping is a bit of a gray area for the terms and services of Amazon, and people have had their accounts banned. So Shopify really is geared towards facilitating dropshipping, and you can outsource some of the tasks that you need to do to actually set up an online store. You can pay someone, say, $10 an hour using websites like Fiverr, where you can look at a person's previous work that they've done, what kind of tasks they can do, and they have ratings on how efficient they are. You can pay someone, say, $10 an hour in another country to set up your website, where a local programmer might cost $80 to $100. So it's a cheap way to outsource some of these tasks, and you don't have to have $1 million business to do this. Anyone can go on Fiverr and start outsourcing some of the work so they can use their time more productively to start building that business. You could be the next Gymshark for all you know it. You just have to put the right time and be consistent with it and build that knowledge basis. Number 4 is getting a rental property. Now, unlike some of the other things that I've mentioned in this list, this one is a bit harder to get started. Unlike a YouTube channel where you can just get your phone and start recording, or investing, you can just set up a brokerage website and start buying whatever shares you want. When it comes to rental properties, there's a bit more involved in actually getting set up. For example, in New Zealand, as a general rule of thumb, you need a 20% deposit to buy a house. So if you were looking at purchasing a $400,000 property, you'd have to put up $80,000 up front, and that money isn't the only thing included in purchasing a house. You have to get approval from a bank, talk with lawyers to make sure nothing untoward happens in terms of the legal issues that can come with property, and of course getting things like building inspections to make sure there's no defects or limit the amount of defects that there are in the house, so you don't have to spend half of your income renovating the property and fixing things up. How profitable that rental property is really depends on a lot of things, like what is the quality of the home that you're buying? Do you have to do lots of renovations and maintain it? What kind of tenants do you have living there? Do they respect the house? Do they cause damages? Do they actually pay their rent on time, or do they pay their rent at all? And what is the location of the property? Does it appreciate in value? Is it an area where people want to live? And with rental properties, you may not technically make a large return on a weekly basis, maybe $100 or a few $100s a week, but the biggest principle is that someone else is paying off your mortgage. You may have put up that $80,000 at the bank, but someone else is paying off the rest of that mortgage, so theoretically you're getting $400,000 for paying $80,000. And that's not factoring in the appreciation and price that the property will hopefully undergo in the period of time while you're renting it out. 5 years, 10 years down the track, that $400,000 property will be worth $450,000, $500,000, $600,000, depending on how long you hold on to it for. And that can again give you more passive income when you sell it for capital gain. How quickly you can get started with property investing is largely related to the type of property that you're buying, how much is the initial deposit, and how long will it take you to save that money for the deposit. For the majority of people, saving up $80,000, that's not exactly going to happen very quickly, but the potential reward is great, and it's a good place to put your money instead of just continuously buying things with it. Putting it in a rental property is a great way to keep it safe and make sure that your money is going to be working for you, assuming you do the right research and purchase the right kind of property. Next is another form of investing, but this time it's related to cryptocurrency. So with cryptocurrencies, much like stocks, once they rise in value, you can sell them and then collect the capital gain for passive income. Cryptos definitely have a lot of potential, but they are not all created equal. Currencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum hold far more value because they have tangible use. You can actually do things with them. There's actually a purpose for them, and they aim to solve a real world problem. Now there's other ones, like a lot of these popular altcoins that have been blowing up and gaining a ton of popularity. Things like Elongate or the Shiba Inu token, which can go up in value over 1,000% in just a few hours, but they can also crash just as quickly. So with them, of course, people are going to be making money. They will ride the wave, they will ride the hype and get a profit, but there's other people who are going to buy at the top, and when things crash, they crash badly, because you can't expect something to go up several thousand% in a few days or a few hours and think that momentum is going to continue. So there are going to be a lot of people who buy at the top, and then when things plummet, they're going to lose a lot of that capital that they put in. So when it comes to cryptos, I'd stay with the more well-rounded, well-recognized ones that actually have some form of tangible use and a reason why they hold some value. Even with Bitcoin and Ethereum, they are a bit of a roller coaster if you look at these charts of how much they can go up and how much they can go down. Cryptos are far more volatile than stocks, but the reward can be almost unmatched if you look at the potential gain you can get from something like Bitcoin. If you put $1,000 into Bitcoin back in mid-2016 when a whole Bitcoin was worth $600 and then sold in April of 2021 when there was creeping into that $60,000 mark, you would have made roughly a 5,800% return. So that initial $1,000 invested would have turned into $58,000. Of course, perfectly timing the buying and selling point to buy at the absolute bottom and sell at the absolute top is pretty unlikely to happen, but the amount that these coins can increase in value is astonishing, and they will outperform a lot of the stocks, but it's really related to the amount of risk that you want to take and the amount of volatility that you're comfortable with your money undergoing. Investing in cryptocurrencies has become extremely accessible. You just need an exchange to purchase them on, either Binance or Coinbase, or if you're in New Zealand, you can use Easy Crypto. Once you've purchased your cryptos, you ideally want to be storing them on an external wallet, and you can either use a software wallet, something like Exodus, which I would highly recommend. It's completely free and it offers great security to store your coins, or you can use a hardware wallet like the Ledger Nano S or Ledger Nano X, or there's also different models from Trezor where you can store your coins on. And a hardware wallet is the gold standard in terms of storing your coins, but a software wallet like Exodus is a great place to get started as well. So as long as you do your due diligence and actually look into a coin and think, what does this coin offer? Is it actually something tangible, or is it just something that's got a lot of hype and speculation around it, and that's why the price is rising so much? Anyways, that'll do me for today. If you found this video helpful, make sure to help me out by liking this video and subscribing to the channel.